Good day, everyone. We are Group 1, and today we're going to discuss Islam in moral history. First, what is Islam? Islam is a religion that teaches complete surrender and obedience to the will of Allah, God. The word Islam came from the Arabic word salam, which means peace. Because of this, Islam is known as a religion of peace that promotes righteousness, discipline, justice, compassion, and harmonious relationships among people. Muslims believe that true peace can only be achieved through obedience to Allah and by living a moral and responsible life. So Islam is a religion that teaches people to believe in and obey Allah. It also promotes peace, kindness, justice, and living a good life. Muslims also believe that the true peace comes from following the teachings of Allah. So ang Islam kay nag-teach po sa mga people to live a good life while respecting and helping others. So next is the five pillars of Islam. Pillars means the main foundation. So the five pillars of Islam are the five basic duties that guide Muslims in practicing their religion. First, Shahada. Shahada is the declaration of faith in Islam. It states, there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. This pillar teaches Muslims to believe in one God and recognize Prophet Muhammad as the final messenger of Allah. So Shahada means believing that there is only one God, Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger. Second is Salah. Salah refers to the five daily prayers performed by Muslims at specific times every day. Prayer strengthens a Muslim relationship with Allah and teaches discipline, obedience, and spirituality. So Salah means Muslims prayer 5 times a day to worship Allah and stay connected to Him. The third one is Zakat. Zakat is the obligation of giving a portion of one's wealth to poor and needy people. Islam teaches that wealthy individuals should help those who are less fortunate in order to reduce inequality and promote compassion within society. So zakat or charity means giving part of one's money to help poor and needy people. The fourth one is asham or fasting. So, asham refers to fasting during the holy month of Ramadan. Muslims avoid food, drink, and sinful actions from sunrise to sunset. Fasting teaches self-discipline, patience, obedience to Allah, and spiritual purification. So, asham means Muslim fast during the month of Ramadan by not eating or drinking from sunrise to sunset. And the last one is Hajj or pilgrimage. Hajj is the pilgrimage to Mecca, the holiest city in Islam. Muslims who are physically and financially capable are required to perform Hajj at least once in their lifetime. Hajj symbolizes unity, equality, and devotion. So Hajj is basically a journey to Mecca that every Muslim should do at least one in their life, misan ka sa ilahang kinabuhi if they are able. So kining nga mga pillars are very important because they help Muslims strengthen their faith and relationship with Allah. Now that we have discussed the basic teachings and pillars of Islam, let's move on to some important issues and values in Islam. So, the first one is being just and harmonious with others. Islam teaches fairness, justice, and peaceful coexistence with other people regardless of religion, race, or social status. Muslims are encouraged to respect others, avoid discrimination, and maintain harmony within the community. Islam's values kindness, honesty, and compassion in dealing with fellow human beings. So, Islam teaches people to be fair, kind, and respectful to everyone. Muslims are encouraged to avoid discrimination and live peacefully with others. So, This helps create a peaceful and harmonious community while people respect one another. So ang Islam kay makahelp na siya to create a peaceful and harmonious community nga kung asa ang mga people kay nag-respect each other. Second, on religious tolerance. Islam teaches respect for other religions and beliefs. Muslims are encouraged to live peacefully with people of different faiths and avoid forcing others to accept Islam. Religious tolerance is important in Islam because it promotes understanding, unity, and mutual respect among different communities. So, Islam teaches respect for people with different religions and beliefs. Muslims also are encouraged to live peacefully with others and promote understanding and mutual respect. Like, bisan o kaning different ang religion or beliefs sa kaning miskan, like, sa isa ka tao, ang Islam kay nag-teach siya sa everyone that we should be or they should be treated with respect. This also helps build unity among different communities.
On jihad and terrorism, the word jihad means struggle or striving in the path of Allah. Islam teaches that jihad is not mainly about violence or war. Instead, it refers to personal and spiritual struggles to become a better person and follow the teachings of Allah. Terrorism and the killing of innocent people are not supported by Islam because the religion promotes peace, justice, and respect for human life. Jihad Asgar, also known as the Jihad, Lesser Jihad, refers to the physical struggle or defense against oppression and injustice. This may include defending oneself or one's community when necessary. However, Islam teaches that violence should only be used for protection and not for aggression or terrorism. Jihad Akbar or the Greater Jihad refers to the internal struggle of a person against sinful desires, bad behavior, and temptation. Muslims believe that controlling one's actions, improving character, and remaining faithful to Allah are the most important forms of jihad. On jihad and terrorism, ang word nga jihad sa Islam means struggle or effort para mahimong mas maayo nga Muslim ug mas better nga person. Many people think nga ang jihad kay about war or violence lang, pero actually mas connected siya sa self-discipline o doing good things. Nay duha ka klase sa jihad. Una, jihad asgar nga gitawag og lesser jihad. Mao ni ang pagdepensa sa sarili, family or community kung naay danger. Pero sa Islam, violence is should only be for protection and not for terrorism or harming innocent people. Pangkaduha, Jihad Akbar na gitawag og Greater Jihad. Mao ni ang mas importanteng jihad because it focuses on fighting bad attitudes, temptations, anger, greed, o sinful actions sulod sa kaugalingon. Example, if a person avoids cheating, lying, or bad habits bisan lisod, that is a that is already a form of jihad. So, the real message of Islam is peace, justice, patience, and respect for human life. Terrorism is against the true teachings of Islam because Islam teaches compassion and kindness toward others. Polygyny refers to the practice of a man having more than one wife. Islam allows a Muslim man to marry up to four wives, only if he can treat them equally, fairly, and responsibly. However, Islam emphasizes justice and fairness, and monogamy is often encouraged because equal treatment is difficult to maintain. Ang polygyny means ang usa ka lalaki mahimong adunay more than one wife in Islam. Allowed ang Muslim man nga makapangasawa og up to 4 wives, pero only if kaya niya sila itrato equally, fairly ug responsibly. Dili lang ni about financial support, apil pud ang equal love, time, respect, attention ug care sa matag asawa. Kung dili niya kaya mahimong fair, Islam encourages monogamy or having one wife only. This teaching shows nga ang Islam dili lang basta nag-aalaw og multiple wives without rules. Instead, strict kayo ang responsibility o fairness nga gina-require. For example, if a husband favors one wife and neglects the others, that is considered unfair in Islam. Mao nga difficult yun siya i-maintain. Mao daghan nga Muslim ga-choose og one wife only. So ang lesson na makuha diri kay important lesson is that family relationships should be built with justice, respect, responsibility, and proper treatment. On wearing the veil, Muslim women wear the veil or kumbung as a symbol of modesty, discipline, and religious devotion. Wearing the veil reflects obedience to Islamic teachings and promotes respect for oneself. It is also viewed as an expression of faith and identity among Muslim women. So, ang veil or kumbong gisulob sa daghang Muslim women as a symbol of modesty, discipline, and devotion to Allah. It reflects obedience sa Islamic teachings o respect sa ilang kaugalingon. For Muslim women, ang veil is not just fashion or clothing. It is part of their faith, identity, and culture. Some women wear it because it helps them feel closer to Allah and reminds them to act respectfully and modestly. Example, just like uniforms represent schools or professions, the veil can represent a Muslim woman's faith and values. Important ni sab nga masabtan nga the veil is not about weakness or oppression for many Muslim women. Instead, many of them see it as confidence, self-respect, and pride in their religion. So, the main lesson ani nga topic is that Islam teaches modesty, discipline, faith, and respect for oneself and for others. How did Islam reach Southeast Asia and eventually the Philippine archipelago? Islam reached Southeast Asia mainly through Muslim traders, missionaries, travelers, and religious teachers from Arabia, India, and nearby Muslim regions. Trade play a very important role because Muslim merchants traveled across Southeast Asia and established relationships with local communities through business interactions, intermarriages, and religious teachings. Islamic beliefs gradually spread throughout the region. Islam spread in Southeast Asia mainly through trade and peaceful interactions. Sa una, Muslim traders gikan sa Arabia, India o nearby Muslim regions moani sa Southeast Asia para magnegosyo. While naga-trade sila, naka-build pod sila og relationship with local communities through friendship, business, ug even intermarriage. Na-share nila ang teachings and beliefs sa Islam. Daghang locals na influence because Muslim merchants were known as honest, respectful, and disciplined people. Aside from traders, naapod si religious teachers and missionaries nga nagatudlo pod about sa Islamic beliefs, values, and traditions. Hinahinay, Islam spread across different parts of Southeast Asia. In the Philippines, Islam first reached Mindanao and Sulu before pa niabot ang mga Spaniards. It became an important part of the culture, leadership, and daily life sa mga Muslim communities. So basically, Islam spread not mainly through war, but through trade, teaching, friendship, and cultural exchange.
How did Islam reach Southeast Asia and eventually the Philippines archipelago? Islam eventually reached the Philippines archipelago through Sulu, Palawan, and long for the arrival of Spaniard. Islam came to the Philippines early, even before the Spanish colonizers. It entered through southern area like Sulu, Palawan, and Mindanao. Sulu became an important center of Islamic influence because it was located near major trade routes in the Southeast Asia. Sulu was a key place because it was near trading routes where many merchants passed by and shared ideas including religion. Muslim missionaries and traders introduced Islamic teaching to local rulers and communities. Muslim teachers, missionaries, and traders taught Islam to local leaders and people, leading to formation of early Muslim societies in Sultanate Mindanao and Sulu. Because of this, organized Muslim communities and kingdom called Sultanate were formed in those areas. Personalities who introduced Islam in Mensapala. Tuan Masyaika. Tuan Masyaika was considered one of the earliest pioneers of Islam in Sulu. He was one of the first people to bring Islam to Sulu. He married the daughter of local chief. He connected with local leader through marriage and helped establish one of the earliest Muslim community in the area. He helped build one of the first Muslim group there, Karim ul Makdum. Karim ul Makdum was an Islamic missionary. He was a teacher who spread Islam. He taught Islamic belief and converted more local people to Islam. He educated people and encouraged them to follow Islam. He is also associated with one of the earliest mosques in the Philippines. He helped build or is linked to one of the first mosque. Raja Bajenda arrived in Sulu from Sumatra. He came from another place, Sumatra in Indonesia, to Sulu. He established political influence and threatened the spread of Islam. He became a leader and helped Islam grow stronger. His leadership later became the foundation of Sulu Sultanate. His rule hailed from the Sulu kingdom. Sayyid Abu Bakr. Sayyid Abu Bakr became the first Sultan of Sulu. He became the first official king, called Sultan of Sulu. He organized Islamic political and religious institutions. He set up system for leadership and religion. He expanded Islamic teaching peacefully. He spread Islam in calm and respectful way. Sharif Muhammad Kabungswan. He introduced Islam to mainland Mindanao. He brought Islam to central Mindanao. He formed alliances with local rulers. He worked together with local leaders and helped establish the Maguindanao Sultanate. He helped create another Muslim kingdom in Mindanao. Conclusion: Islam teaches peace, justice, discipline, compassion, and respect for others. Islam promotes good values like kindness, fairness, and respect. The religion encourages people to live harmoniously. It teaches people to live peacefully with others. Islam and Christianity share many similarities. Both religions are similar in many ways because both promote morality, faith in God, and concern for humanity. They both teach doing good, believing in God, and caring for others.